Welcome back to Mercor's Success Spotlight, where we celebrate the remarkable individuals who have achieved extraordinary success in their respective work. I am your host, Shomi Day, and in today's episode, I am very excited to introduce everyone to one of Mercor's favorite as well as youngest engineers here. He is also our engineer of this week, Aritra Bandyopadhyay. I have known him to be an excellent problem solver and a great friend who is always ready to take on new challenges. But for people who do not know you, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks for the great introduction, Shomi. So, I'm currently a machine learning engineer at Mercor, and I'm a third year undergrad at like IIEST Shipwood. Uh, so yeah, that's basically me. I work at building the AI interviewer and basically handling all AI related stuff on the Mercor internal team. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, great. So, talking about Mercor, tell us a little about your journey here, the projects and the people that you have worked with.
Yeah, so I got into Mercor through actually one of their hackathons that they sponsored, and then I was selected based on my resume as well as the project, and that just led to the great opportunity of working here. And it's really great to work with the people here because you get to learn a lot because you actually doing things instead of like getting someone who is explaining things to you, you get to actually figure things out yourself. And they're like great teammates who I work with, like Harsh and Bisobasu and Om, who are just the best engineers. And I've had to like do a lot of work to catch up to where they are and also learn a lot from them.
Great. So, what has been your favorite part about working here?
Uh, Definitely, the remote work is pretty good because I can just it's flexible hours too, so I can just work whenever I want. Suppose I'm like having a like hard day at university, and so what I do is just sleep and then work the night or whatever. So it's pretty flexible. You don't have to work just like 9 to 5. It's not a 9 to 5 thing. As long as you finish your job whenever you want, that's it.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So your profile seems to be really interesting and elaborate. You have accomplished a lot, and I'm sure that you're on the way to accomplish a lot more. It is really intimidating for people who are starting out. So how would you suggest them to move forward? Like, what do they need to do to ensure their success?
So, to apply to remote startups, one thing you need is a lot of development experience, not like the DSA kind of things that uh, Fangs or something offer, uh, like Fang-based interviews in India. So you'll need a lot of actual real-world dev experience. So I think like having great projects that are not just clones of websites or something would be a great idea. Uh, Also like um, anything that would have like an interesting backend. uh, a lot of YouTube channels exist which have great projects and tutorials, but I wouldn't suggest like following along. Like, yeah, you could follow along for the most parts for like the first project or two, but then your final like the best project in your profile needs to be something that you do yourself and that shows like how much you have learned and how much you can do.
Okay, those are some really great pointers there. So, like you said, you're a third year undergrad, computer science undergrad at IIST, and it's a fact that there is a lot of university related work that needs to get done on a day to day basis. So, how do you manage everything?
Um, it's not as hard because whenever I get my free time, like I can do some work for Mercor, and then I can do some work, some university work. There's also not that much work day to day, in the sense of assignments and stuff. There are a few per week, but like it's mostly easy to manage. And sometimes I just shift some work to the nights or whatever so that I can get enough rest.
Yeah, you make it sound really easy. So I know this next question here is takes a lot of variables into account, but what do you think are some of the few things that makes a person's project immediately stand out amongst others?
Um, yeah, so what I said was basically one of the most important things is just not following along, like it has to be yourself. Just as a random clone of a website is not a good final project. It's a good starting project to learn something, but it's not a good like final project that shows your abilities. And also, uh, I think a good backend really works well. So no matter if you're a front end or whatever, like I think if you do the backend well, then you can really show that you are a good full stack developer. Uh, in most cases, of course, front end is important, and how you design the front end helps optimize the website and all that. But I think I am really impressed by mostly back end projects.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good pointer there. So, how do you think candidates should prepare for the final interview? Because that is generally the final step to success. What is really assessed in these?
Um, for for final interviews, one thing people should keep in mind is like they know everything in their resume and everything about their projects. One thing I've heard a lot and seen a lot is people listing something in their resumes and then not really having the full grasp of it, and then they get stuck in like the answers that the answering things that interviews ask. So I think it's really important to know every part, why you've used something over other, and that really goes a long way to show the interviewer that you have actually thought about it before just like randomly following a tutorial. Because randomly following a tutorial won't really give you an understanding of what could have been. Like, why did you use this instead of that? So I think those choices should be yours, and you should, even if they are not yours, you should understand why one thing is better than the other.
Okay, great. So, last question for you. Any last tips for the people who are trying to apply for jobs at Mercor, except for the projects that I understand need to be really unique and showcase them as a developer? So, other than that, what should people keep in mind?
um Other than that, I think just getting to know their tech stack is one of the main things that they can do, because I've seen a lot of interviews where people are like, uh, they know this, but then not really fully or not enough to be able to do, for example, a live assessment, in which case we give someone a thing to do and then they have to do it in front of the interviewer. And I think that really showcases how much you know about your work and how much you know about the framework or the tech stack. But yeah, you have to be comfortable with that. And I think getting to that level takes a lot of time because you have someone watching you. It's going to be difficult. So yeah, that's something that's important. And just having a well-rounded resume, I think works.
Okay, awesome. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for your insights in this field. It was an amazing experience talking to you. I hope this inspires others watching the same way. It has been an honor, truly. All the very best for your future endeavors. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.